republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and again, welcome to our board meeting this evening. Just for the folks in the audience, the reference behind you over to your right and over here to your right are your exits, should we need them. Hopefully that's not the case. First order of business, I'd like to take a roll call. Trustee Berenger.
Berenger's present.
Trustee Ferraro.
Ferraro present.
Trustee Carl.
Carl present.
Trustee O'Connor.
O'Connor present.
And Mayor Dwyer, thank you so much. Okay, next order of business is a public hearing on the Orange County Community Development Block Grant Program funding application. So I'd like to make the following statement, and then we could open up. So a public hearing is being held this evening on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, in the boardroom of the Village of Monroe, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York, at 7 p.m. for public comment and suggestions regarding projects to be considered for funding under the Orange County Community Development Block Grant Program. I'd like to have a motion to open that public hearing.
Carl will make the motion.
Berenger
Second.
will second.
Okay, call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye. Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. And just for the public's information, so every year there's a block grant program on the Community Development Block Grant, which is administered through the County of Orange, and they offer opportunities for municipalities to bring to the table projects that they want to see happen in their village or their town, and through certain protocols that the Housing and Human, is it Housing and Human Development, something like
Yep. It's
Yeah.
federal. It's a federal.
Urban
program.
Development.
It's a federal program.
It's a federal program that administers through to Orange County, and depending on both the public's financials and the ability to do a project like senior citizens, like ADA compliance, things like that, there's opportunity. Last year, for example, the Village of Monroe took on sidewalks with ADA components, and we received the full grant for that. This year, the simplest program based on a criteria. So there's a score that's applied, and I reached out to the person in charge of the grant program and said, hey, we've got a few projects out here, and we'd like to have you consider and let us know preemptively so that we can, take a look at this. So right now, we're looking at the Stage Road water replacement, and the length would be from the Smithfield intersection up here on Stage Road out to the Maple Avenue. And that scored very well based on the HUD's criteria. So for the board's consideration, I suggest that that's a program we'd go to and file for. So, but the public is welcome to us. Anybody who wants out there, come on up, and happy to hear from you, whatever you'd like to do. We're good for that too as well. So we'll give it a few minutes. Anybody from the public wish to come on up, please go to the microphone and give the clerk your name and I think your address, right? Yeah. And we'll go through it. Okay, so we'll just take a few minutes on it. Thank you.
Question on that. Is there still some lead service lines on
Yes.
Stage Road? So
Mhm.
that would also take care of that as well, at least
Absolutely.
from
Yeah.
the main to the property.
Exactly. So we would definitely want to see that happen, as well. We went and applied for 2 grants, if you remember, through our Congressman Pat Ryan. Unfortunately, we didn't score high enough, or we didn't meet the criteria of what they have. They have finite amount of funds, and we didn't receive them. But that's okay. We just keep pushing forward. This is the oldest part of stretch of original pipe in the Village of Monroe, so it'd be nice to get it out of the ground and continue on all the good work insofar as the infrastructure goes.
Do they let us know why we don't meet the criteria?
You mean like as far as Pat Ryan, Congressman?
Mhm.
They did not, but I believe, Trustee Berenger, I think it's all based on scoring. So you have to have something that's objective and nonpartisan, and, what are the metrics behind it, and I think that was, and it might have been, I don't remember, in the declination of of our request, but it's got to be something. It can't just be, okay, it was, sunny today or rainy. There's got to be something behind it, so I'll defer to that. Sometimes like with the HUD program, believe it or not, it's income-based. And Monroe does not have a lot of areas where you can say throughout the entire village, there's opportunity to benefit everyone. Sometimes in the past, we've taken on projects where, sidewalks, for instance. We were able to get sidewalks because it benefited anyone and everyone that could come in. And it's there already, so we're replacing in kind. We've done some other projects, like last year's project, it was ADA, so that brings up a whole demographic of folks that could use and benefit from the ADA. So, yeah, I think so. I mean, we're actually, I think Kim has reached out to, so we're waiting for some feedback, because I need some information about what we applied for then, and use it or parlay it right into this current application. I spoke to Nicole Anderson from CDBG, she's the boss over there, and she has advised me that we'll be able to file and complete this application pretty easily. I mean, we've been doing it since I'm mayor, so, and we've been very successful. We've done very, very well. This board has since, I've been around in this. So, I actually serve on that board. So it's a really good board. A lot of good things happen. A lot of municipalities have benefited from these funds. Anybody wanting to come on up, come on up. We're happy to hear you from you, really. Okay. That being said, if no one, you sure? Okay. So, why don't we go ahead and close the public hearing? Just for the record, we have no one wishing to speak upon this matter, so why don't we make a motion, someone to please close the public hearing?
Berenger will make the motion that we close the public hearing.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thanks very much. The next order of business is the department reports as submitted by the department heads. Can I get a motion to adopt them as submitted by the departments?
Ferraro, make the motion.
Carl is second. Just some quick discussion.
Please.
On the water, we had a wet, just let me get this back here. We had a wet May, we had 10.15 inches of rain. The reservoir is still full and running over the dam, which is good. And our consumptions this year compared to last year at this time are up by a little over 2 million gallons, so.
From this time last year?
Yep,
Uh-huh.
yep.
A day,
What's that?
2 million gallons?
No, for the month,
Okay.
for the month. So if you divided that by 31 days,
Okay.
that's what we're, a lot of water usage going on, so. And the transmission lines, that whole area is all in, I've been going up there checking that. That's all growing in nice up there. You wouldn't even know they were in there.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we had a first and second. If there's no further discussion, let's call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. The next order of business is the approval of the meeting minutes for June 3rd, 2025's board meeting. I need a motion to accept them as submitted by the clerk.
Carl will make the motion.
O'Connor will second.
Further discussion, call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro abstains.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business, trustee O'Connor, the resignation of ZBA Secretary Christine Callahan.
Be resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the resignation of Christine Callahan, CPA Secretary, effective June 7th, 2025. The Board of Trustees wishes Christine well in her future endeavors. Put that in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second, please?
Berenger will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. And next order of business is the part-time secretary to the zoning board of appeals, Alyssa Feliz. Trustee O'Connor, please.
Be resolved, the Board of Trustees appoints Elisa Feliz to the part-time position of part-time secretary to the zoning board of appeals, effective June 18th, 2025, at a salary of $500 a month. Put that in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
Berenger will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business, I thought I had an old piece. Did you give me something on an old piece, or am I wrong? I don't know, I thought you wrote something in the other day, Kim, maybe not, maybe. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. It was nothing there the other day, and then you hand wrote something, I thought. You said, hey, I could put this in here,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
you
that
put it
was
in
the
new business?
appointment of Elisa.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, next order is new business, request for wet inspection. Okay. Would that be tank inspection?
Trustee Carl.
Would it be tank inspection? Not wet inspection.
For a wet inspection and leak repair of the water storage tank.
Yeah, I just thought it was a play on words. You did the same thing, right? Me too.
Oh, on the agenda itself.
So anyway, please.
Yep, resolve the Board of Trustees approves a request of the Water Department and authorize Statewide Aquastore Incorporated to perform a comprehensive inspection of both the interior and exterior of the water storage tank. The cost of this comprehensive tank inspection is $2,500 to be allocated from budget line F 8340.4500 distribution contractual. Complementary leak repair has been added in if the wet inspection and leak repair performed during the single visit, which they are going to be. So that would, is not going to cost us anything for that.
Right,
leak repair.
that's awesome.
So I'll put that in motion.
Second, please.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, ayes so carried. Next order is the inspection for the water plant tank and reservoir. Trustee Carl.
Yep. Resolve the Board of Trustees approve the request of the Water Department engages Atlantic Underwater Services Incorporated for divers operation, divers to inspect the village intake screen at the reservoir. We will provide a boat for this service. There will also be a ROV inspection of the village water plant tank, and that's basically a robot that'll go in there.
Sure.
The total cost of this service is $8,600 to be allocated from budget line F 8320-4500 source contractual. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second, please?
O'Connor will second.
Let's call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, ayes so carried. Thank you. Okay, next order of business, Water Department inventory surplus of water meters. Trustee Carl.
Yep. Resolve the Board of Trustees declares the following Water Department non-working water meters surplus and of no value and authorize its removal from the inventory to be scrapped. There's a numerous amount of meters here, so just make the motion that the numbers and stuff are on file with the village clerk, and I'll put that in form of a motion.
Second, please.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye. Oh, sorry. O'Connor, yes?
O'Connor, aye.
I jumped the gun. So, did you have a question? I don't mind answering. Yeah, so what these are is meters. Every home has one, and every so often, then when they're replaced, the old one has to be surplus, so that's what we're doing. That make sense? Thank you. Okay. Next order of business, Hudson Valley Water Works Conference. Trustee Carl.
Stand by one. Resolve the Board of Trustees approves the attendance of Will Ostrowski and Matt Pisculo to the Hudson Valley Waterworks Conference held on Thursday, August 14, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Town of Wallkill Golf Club, Middletown, New York. The cost will be $75 each, which is $150, to be allocated from budget line F 8330.4720 Purification Education, Water Certificates, and 4.0 Department of Health Contact Hours or awarded upon completion, and I'll put that in form of a motion.
Second, please.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
All right, so carried. Next order of business, the authorization, the submission of Orange County, excuse me, no. What am I missing here?
Preventive maintenance on the
Preventive
Road talk,
maintenance.
yes, thank you. Okay, we might as well just go home and let you finish it up.
Yeah, it's John's show
It's a
today.
John show. Okay, so preventative maintenance service on the road talk actuators, trustee O'Carl.
Yep, resolve the Board of Trustees approve the request of the Water Department and authorizes Rotork to provide a one-time preventive maintenance servicing of all Rotork actuators at the filter treatment plant in the amount of $17,351.56 to be allocated from budget line F 8330.4530 equipment maintenance. This service includes the Intelligent Asset Management, IMA, service at no additional charge, extracting performance and condition data from each actuator to establish an overall health score. This health score will assist the village on evaluating the condition of each actuator more efficiently, allowing for a better design for future contracts. And I will put that in the form of a motion.
Can I get a second, please?
Berenger will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business is an authorization and submission of the Orange County, for a submission of the Orange County Community Development Block Grant Program funding application for 2026. Resolved, the Board of Trustees authorizes Mayor Dwyer to submit an application for consideration under the fiscal year 2026 Orange CDBG Urban County Consortium Community Development Program for the Stage Road Waterline Replacement. Input from citizens in the group has been received and considered. An application has been prepared, which addresses their community concerns. They further certify that they have read and understood the Orange CDBG Urban County Consortium Development Community Development Guidelines for the fiscal year 2026 program year and have met all the applicable requirements, and that the information contained in the application is accurate and true to the best of their knowledge. If awarded the CDBG funds, the Village of Monroe shall implement the activities in a manner to ensure compliance with all applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations. I need a motion to accept this project and this application to the Orange County Community Development Block Grant.
Carl, I'll make the motion.
O'Connor, second.
Further discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. The next order of business is the Ecological Solutions LLC Wetland Delineation, Mape Brook. Trustee Carl?
Resolved, the Board of Trustees authorize Mayor Dwyer to sign the proposal with Ecological Solutions LLC to perform a wetland delineation and preliminary permitting evaluation for the Mapes Brook in the amount of $3,500 allocated from budget line A 7110-4500 Parks Contractual. I'll put that in form of a motion.
I get a second?
Berenger,
O'Connor, second.
Okay. Further discussion? And just for the public's information, this delineation is being done down by Mapes Brooks, which is what runs through the Smith's Clove Park area, and we are working through the project to alleviate some of the backup or the buildup of the water that comes through. One of the biggest challenges as we go along is that further development uphill or upstream of this area becomes more and more used,
Densely populated.
a lot of this storm drain water is coming down through this area and eventually comes through Mapes Brook. So we're hoping that this is, again, another piece of the puzzle that allows us to continue on the project, which is actually to widen, deepen, and continue the path right through our village. So we had a first and second. Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, carried, thank you. Next order of business is the event application for Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, Independence Day Celebration. Trustee Carl?
Resolved, the Board of Trustees approves the event application for the Independence Day celebration at Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, extending their business outside from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Thursday, July 3rd. Rain date 7/5/25 during the Village of Monroe firework display. The application has been reviewed by the Building Department, DPW, and Police Department. Emergency services will be notified of the event, and I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
Berenger will second.
Further discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business is seeker resolution with a negative declaration. for the acquisition of real property over Franz Kloiber's Pond, SBL 225-2-2. Trustee Carl?
Want to read this whole thing? What we're doing?
Yeah.
Summarize, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the board wants to take action to acquire Kloiber's Pond. Therefore, seeker had to be done. The village caused a short environmental assessment form to be drafted by the engineer. And what that showed was that because there will be absolutely no work done, no construction, they're not touching the lake, then it is, there won't be any negative impacts. Therefore, the board tonight, as lead agency, is issuing a negative declaration which summarizes what the board is doing, finding an unlisted action, issuing a negative declaration because no changes to the lake will be done, and that's essentially this document, which needs to be adopted by the board.
Okay. Okay, so that's a secret resolution. Did we have a first and a second, please?
Carl will make the motion to
Ferraro,
accept it.
second.
Discussion?
Yep, just so everybody understands this, Franz Kloiber's Lake actually flows into Monbassia Reservoir, so by acquiring this will certainly help us in the future to help protect Monbassia Lake, because that lake does flow into
Sure.
the reservoir, so.
Thank you. Okay, any further questions, discussion? Okay, let's call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Thank you. Next order of business, resolution to acquire the real property, Franz Kloiber's Lake, West Monbassia, tax map 225-2-2. Trustee Carl?
Again, go through this whole thing, or you wanna do the whole resolution?
Well, I tell you what,
Where-
I think it's a good idea,
All right.
because we're going to acquire it.
We're gonna appropriate money and
Yeah.
Whereas the Village Board of Trustees is authorized under Village Law Statute 1-102 to acquire real property on behalf of the Village of Monroe residents, and whereas Douglas R. Stage, as trustee of the Eleanor Sergrew Spencer 2023 trust dated July 27, 2023, with the address of 444 Brabertown Road, Tuxedo Park, New York, 10987, let it be known that the late owner of the property known as the Franz Kloiber's Lake desired that the Village of Monroe be given the opportunity to purchase the lake. And whereas the property has approximately 13.2 acres consisting of Franz Kloiber's Lake, parentheses, the lake, which lake flows into Monbassia Lake, which is the village's water source. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees caused the property to be surveyed and inspected, and whereas the village is purchasing the lake to further the protection of its water source, and whereas as the only agency with the authority to purchase land for use by the Village of Monroe, the Village Board of Trustees is lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, and whereas the board complied with SEQR by causing its consulting engineer to prepare a short environmental assessment form, reviewing said SEAF, and finding no significant environmental impacts from the purchase of the lake, and issuing a negative declaration on June 17, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that having reviewed the environmental assessment form, the proposed acquisition will not result in any adverse environmental impacts, as the acquisition of the lake will not result in any change to the use or the lake itself. Rather, the lake will remain unchanged and will serve as further protection to the village's water supply. Be it further resolved, the Village Board of Trustees finds that the acquisition of the lake is in the best interest of the Village of Monroe, and hereby authorizes the mayor to negotiate and execute a contract of sale between Douglas R. Stage as trustee of the Eleanor Surbrew Spencer 2023 Trust dated July 27, 2023, for the purchase of Franz Kloiber's Lake in the amount of $10,000. And I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
O'Connor will second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
By right, so carried. And just again, for the public, for those that want to know, the simplest way to look at it is a clock. Our water supply on Bay Shore is at 9 o'clock. This acquisition is at 3 o'clock. The 3 o'clock acquisition feeds into the 9 o'clock acquisition. And the village is committed to protecting our watershed, and this is an acquisition that actually came to us through people involved with this estate, and it was really appreciated that they did so. So we appreciate all of that, and it's another piece of the puzzle for us, so thank you. Okay, I think that's the last piece I have. Trustee Berenger, do you have anything you want to discuss?
I just wanted to say congratulations to the kids that are going to be graduating in the next week. I know Trustee Carl has a 5th grader moving up. I have someone graduating from the high school. Just good luck to all those great kids that are moving on up. And also just, if people could just be a little bit more aware of the speed limits as we're driving around the village and the town. I've just kind of noticed a lot more people speeding.
Thank you. Trustee Farrar?
Just on the airplane park, on the picket fence, we're starting to receive requests to customize the pickets with family names and titles. And so if you're interested, just go to the Village of Monroe's website and just fill out a form. It's only $50 and it'll be there forever. Thanks.
Trustee Carl?
Yep, just a reminder, the fireworks are Thursday, July the 3rd. We have some good food vendors coming this year. We've got cheesesteaks, sausage and peppers, hamburgers, we got hot dogs, we have 876 jerk chicken with the Jamaican style chicken, and we also have a Mexican caterer doing quesadillas, tacos, burritos, empanadas. If there's anybody else out there, nonprofits especially is what we're looking for, that want to join in the festivities, please reach out to the village clerk in the next week or so, because it's right around the corner and I want to start getting everything set up for that. So, and we do have live music that night. It'll be Bills to Pay. The band Bills to Pay. So looking forward for a good night and a big crowd here in Monroe.
Thank you. Just to add to what Trustee Carl just referred to, I have this young man, he's a 4th grader up at Pine Tree, I believe he is, if I'm not mistaken. His name is C.J. Milligan, and I had a conversation with him at the farmer's market the other day, and this young man is just incredible. So he wants to sell lemonade this summer, and I said, where? And he said, in front of my house. I said, okay, is this a for-profit venture? He said, no, it's all for charity. I said, what charity? He says, St. Jude's. I said, wait a minute, that's, really? I said, I'll tell you what, if you're really serious, I said, I'm gonna get you down to the 4th of July event, and we'll sell down there, and I'll sit right with you. We'll set up a tent, and we'll do all the, I'm like totally into this kid. And it's amazing that he thought like that, or thinks like that, and I'm really excited for him. So he's gonna be down there, we're gonna file an application, and do everything we're supposed to by the Department of Health. It's gonna be amazing. So bring your parched lips and come on in and have a glass with CJ, and everything goes to charity. So we're really excited about that. Thank you.
And again, that'll start at 5 o'clock. Try to get we'll work with the police department to get that street probably closed down somewhere around 1 or 2. Fireworks, like I said, they normally show up somewhere early afternoon. So we'll be up there coordinating all of that.
Cool.
But, yeah, just,
It's gonna be wonderful.
I have your
Yeah,
gentleman's application here.
good.
So it's always a good time, and it's for the community to get together. The Village of Harriman, as well as the town of Monroe, has also kicked in some funds to help sponsor this, so
Yep, thank you both.
again, joint effort, so.
Yeah, thank you. Trustee O'Connor?
I'm good.
Okay, council, do you have anything, public? Okay. Okay, so having said that, anyone from the public, you're welcome to come on up and have a conversation with us on any matter representing the village's business. Anybody? Welcome. Just come on up, give us your name. Sure? It's free. Okay, you good? Going once, twice, 3 times. All right, thank you, but thank you for coming. Okay, so I need a motion to go into executive session for attorney-client for the purposes of,
I want to update the board on litigation.
on litigation.
Berenger will make the motion.
Ferraro, second.
Okay, call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carla?
O'Connor, aye.
By right, so carried. Thank you all for attending tonight's meeting, and